If you want to give back in your community and you're not sure how, we're going to give you the answer in this episode of Outside the Box, the podcast devoted to supporting Central PA small business. I am your host, Derek Bixler, realtor and digital marketer right here in Central PA. Before we get into it with a point wrong every single time the other way, we're going to get into it with Amy and Mike of the Mechanicsburg Rotary, and they're going to tell us generally about Rotary and some other things. But before we do that, a little bit about me. I grew up on the Hill in Harrisburg. I graduated from Mechanicsburg High School, went to Penn College of Technology up in Williamsport, if anybody knows about that. And please contact me if you need to buy or sell a house. Like I said, I'm a realtor. You can text me, email me, carrier pigeon, throw a rock through my window, whatever you need to do, let me know. If you'd like to subscribe to our email, find out about our networking mixers, episode announcements, and exclusive special offers. There are none this time, but we are going to tell you about a little bit of the happenings this spring and summer that are going on with the Rotary. But if you want to get information on all that stuff, go to supportcentralpa.com and fill out to get the emails once a week. A reminder to ask questions in the comments if you have any questions for us, and please comment and let us know where you're listening from, especially if you're outside of Central PA. That would be cool to find out. But if you're in Central PA specifically, I'd like to know what cities, what towns are listening and watching. And if you know either one of these people, please comment and say hi and all that stuff. And if we don't see your comments or questions while we're going, we will come back and answer them later. A reminder that all the replays are on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and soon on iTunes and all those audio podcast places soon. I am at Agent Derek on Clubhouse. Please follow me. And a reminder that our Clubhouse room on Thursdays, 1 to 2, great for networking mixers. Not for networking mixers, for networking with other small businesses here in Central PA. If you're not familiar with Clubhouse, check out my episode a few weeks ago. And now we will get into it with Rotary, with Mike McConahy and Amy Bockis of the Mechanicsburg Rotary Club. And actually, there are 2 Mechanicsburg Rotary Clubs, I think. I looked it up and I figured out which one it was because it had Mike as the president, I guess, on there. And I know Mike pretty well. And I'm just getting to know Amy. And I'm going to shut up and let Mike introduce himself from Front Street Financial. Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself personally, where you grew up, your family, that kind of stuff, what you do for a living, and then we'll introduce Amy, and then we'll go into the Rotary. So, Mike, take it away.
You got it. Derek, thanks for having us on today to talk about Rotary. Pleasure knowing you as a friend over the years, so it's great to see how your business and everything is growing as well, too. So I grew up out in Bedford County, a small town called Everett, Pennsylvania. My wife and I have 2 kids, and we live in a small town called Boiling Springs now. And am a managing partner here at a firm called Front Street Financial in Harrisburg. So we do investments, insurance, and all that investment-related financial planning and such as well.
Awesome. So I want to hear more than that. What's your favorite color? I actually just put together a whole, after you're the last people that didn't get the questionnaire for podcast guests. So every guest now is going to get this long ass questionnaire, frankly. So I know a little bit more about them. And one of the questions is, what's your favorite color? And the other is, what's your favorite food? So tell us those 2 things, maybe.
So blue would be my favorite color. And I just love sushi. I don't know if you've been over to Miso and Sapporo East. I mean, owned by the same place, but just wonderful sushi places, and anxious to get those places back open and to be able to go sit there and live and have lunch and dinner inside of those places, hopefully soon.
Yeah, sushi's awesome. I used to go like, what's that, Akita's?
Yeah.
You ever been there in Lemoyne or whatever? That used to be my jam. Yeah, and blue. Piper's, my daughter's, for those who don't know, her favorite color is blue, so that's cool. Amy, we'll switch over to you. Bring your banner up. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You can start with your favorite color, favorite food if you want, or tell us whatever you want.
I'll start with my favorite color since it's Mike's favorite color. Blue is my favorite color. And food, that's really hard for me to say what my favorite food is, simply because I think really anytime I'm eating with people that I love or that I enjoy, that automatically makes it my favorite food. Because generally, sitting with my family, we're always cooking what we love to cook. So hanging out with people, eating food is the best.
That makes sense. What about maybe there's something that you definitely hate or dislike or won't eat?
Okay, so my husband and I were just talking about this. I won't typically eat clam chowder, but that's because I grew up eating Campbell's soup. Nothing against Campbell's soup clam chowder, but it's Sorry, the performance is pretty weak. So I just had a really negative experience with clam chowder, and every time I smell it now, it's it doesn't make me feel good inside. So that doesn't speak to my soul. But connection actually that Mike and I kind of have, which we found out when I joined Rotary, obviously, or when he joined Rotary. My family, my mom's family and my dad's family are both from the Bedford area. So that's kind of cool. A nice little cool connection. But I was born in Indiana, Pennsylvania, West Side. And then
close to the college?
I did not go to IUP. But it's a good school nonetheless. I did take organic chemistry there. So if that means anything.
In high school, just because you advanced so far and you had to go there for senior year?
No, unfortunately, no. But then I did end up going to Juniata College in Huntington. And then for grad school, I went to Penn State College. So that was fun. And then ended up in this area because of my husband and his job, but have had the privilege and honor and sometimes pain of working with 600 plus medical students. And truly, it's a privilege to be able to work with them and to see the altruism that a lot of them possess to want to take care of our patient population. So.
That's good to hear. So what do you do with them?
So I'm in student affairs. So that basically means I see them when they come in orientation, and then we take them through the full 4 years of medical school, sometimes more, and just work with them, help them navigate the complexities of medical school and just basically whatever comes up. I like to say that you having any kind of problem, come see us, we'll help you take care of it. So
you're the school counselor.
Yes, the general is to take care of anything. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I should mention I do have 3 kids as well. So they're first grade, third grade, and fifth grade. Crazy kids, but a lot of fun.
Did you say where you live?
Mechanicsburg. The 5-5
in the school district.
The 5-5 side, yeah. So Monroe.
Okay.
Yep.
So what are the kids in school? Half-time, full-time? They're in different places too, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's
Boiling
great.
Springs is too.
Yeah.
Until there's a case that it's like 10 days off or whatever. But as long as the daycare doesn't shut also, then we're okay. Sometimes they're both, and then you got to adjust. So let's talk about the Rotary. First, and you can both chime in, whoever wants to start or talk or whatever, just do it. Just tell us first, what is Rotary, a basic general overview of what it is and the mission.
Sure. I'll start out with that. So Rotary is an international organization. There are over 1.2 million members internationally, with about 35,000 clubs across the globe. So that's a pretty cool concept that there's Rotary clubs all across the globe. I know last year we did my wife and I did a wedding cruise for my wife's sister that got married, and we were did a stop in the Bahamas and went through the Bahamas, and there was a Rotary Club meeting down there in the Bahamas, and that was just kind of neat to feel like a little connection to that.
Did you go to it?
I did not, because there was a beach there. I went to the beach instead. So but there are Rotary clubs all over. So if you're traveling, you can drop into any Rotary meeting that you want to. If you happen to look that up where you're going and traveling, and Rotary clubs are definitely very welcoming. So you can certainly jump into any of those clubs anywhere. And I know a lot of we have when we were meeting in person at Brothers Diner, we have Rotary has these banners. So from your home club, and our club's been around for a while. So we have these banners from all over the world where either our members have visited and got a banner from that club, or those members have visited our club and gave us banners as well too. So it's pretty neat to see that worldwide connection, that the international component to Rotary that's involved as well. Yep. Yeah,
totally. Chicago 1905. I just Googled it. I don't know if you said that. It was founded. So that's cool.
Yep, that's right. Yep, absolutely. So Rotary's doing a lot internationally. If you go to, Rotary, the main page there, The biggest thing Rotary has been involved in for years was polio vaccinations. So polio is almost eradicated. I think there's 2 countries left in the world, Afghanistan and maybe one other, Amy, is that right? Pakistan. So there's only 2 countries left in the world that have polio, and that's all thanks to Rotary doing, setting up and fundraising and getting all these people vaccinated across the globe. There was a fundraiser a few years ago says we were this close, right, to having polio vaccinated or eradicated, sorry. And so 2 countries left in the world, and that's it. That's pretty remarkable that Rotary's been able to do that, a service organization like this.
That is
Especially
crazy.
this time, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's still a main mission to finish out these, what'd you say, 2 countries?
Yep. It is. It certainly is, and I think Rotary is starting to evolve a little bit more into some other, global projects, if you will. That once hopefully this is eradicated soon. What's next for Rotary? And they've done a lot of water projects, a lot of peace projects, and a lot of other things you can see if you go into the Rotary's international homepage. A lot of their causes there, supporting education, growing local economies, saving mothers and children, protecting the environment, lots of wonderful things that, Rotary internationally is doing. A lot of local Rotary clubs in our area here are doing wonderful things as well too.
So we can talk a little bit about that. What events and things you do here locally. Before we do the local things, do you run fundraisers and campaigns to help these international campaigns? In addition to the local stuff you do?
So the Rotary Foundation, how that works, I mean, the nice thing about Rotary, and I think one thing that I appreciate about it is that they're very, their endowment is just, they've done an exceptional job of really supporting this effort. And so the donations that we give through not only our dues, but also beyond that, typically tend to go into the Rotary Foundation. You can designate it towards polio, the polio fund. You can also designate it towards global efforts, and also then just designate it to your district in and of itself. And typically Rotary will match those dollars in grant form. And so you can really, anytime you're giving money to the foundation to support a cause, it's invested, and then you can get it back 3-fold or 2-fold. So that's what I really appreciate about the Rotary Foundation is they've been very thoughtful about how they've invested their money, and it allows the dollars that we donate to really go towards a lot of really amazing projects. But also beyond that, some of the stuff that they're doing in like even Harrisburg, they're trying to raise enough funds to be able to have a bus to send kids to school in, oh gosh, I forget what country it is, but it's just a lot of different projects that the money that we give goes directly towards these projects and is actually enhanced. And I don't know what the term is for it, but like it really, Mike probably knows the terms better than I do, but it's just really a positive. It's just been a really good experience so far for me, and I've been part of Rotary 8 years now, I think.
Wow. Yeah. And I think you mentioned you were in it before Mike, or you were there when he joined. So I assume you were there first, or you joined at the same exact time. But I love how you said it's community focused, it's community based, it's a pay it forward organization. So what I guess I kind of, and maybe I'm the only one that thought this, but I kind of thought of it as a networking group, or not a networking group, but there was some element of a networking thing to it. Is that true, or is that not true?
I would say that at one time it was true. Used to be in the 80s and 90s and such within Rotary, you could only have one category, if you will, allowed in each club. And so that has certainly changed over the years to where now you can have multiple peoples in the same profession, multiple realtors, advisors, whatever in there, because what the Rotary Club is not a networking club per se, but I think what you find is that you'll be involved with like-minded people that share the same common goals that you do, and you end up wanting to do business with those types of people. So that's the what I would think the networking component of it is.
Yeah, they have different initiatives too, like Rotary Means Business. So you have different mixers where you can get together and sit there and you talk about your business and promote it. But I think the thing that I like about it used to be the classification talks. You'd come in, and my background, of course, is education. Mike's is finance. So they've really opened that up a lot with Rotary. And now you can come in. You don't have to be one attorney or one financial planner. It welcomes everybody now, which has been great. I mean, Paul Harris started off as a business. He's the founder of Rotary in 1905. And he was a business person and really started off as that primary purpose of like developing friendships and getting to know each other. But as they moved, 1917 is when they started this endowment for Rotary with what was it, $26.50 investment. That was the first one. So that would go not very far right now, but at that time, that's probably a pretty big investment. But I feel like the mottos of Rotary is service above self. So anybody that's joining it now really does so with the mindset of we're here to serve people around us. It's not about us, but it's about everybody else. And so I feel like it's bringing together a group of people, not only that just really enjoy being around other people, but are dedicated to improving the lives of others and making them better. And I know personally, having spent time with Mike and the other members of my club, I don't go to church. I really love everybody that goes to church, but I don't go to church. So it's kind of like my church. Like I go, I get to know people, and I just really appreciate the fact that they're there to serve others. And that's where their heart is and where their soul is.
Yeah, just being around like-minded people that are focused on community and you're building a tribe of like-minded people that can make a huge mission. I'm reading here on the website, it's 16 million volunteer hours each year. That's obviously the international, not just Mechanicsburg's club. So what they raise money, but do you also do you give time as well and volunteer places and organize things like that?
Yeah. Mike, I don't know. You can talk about the local project if you want.
Yeah, so we recently completed a project with Monroe Elementary School where they needed some sit-stand desks in the I forget the name of the class, Amy. What was that class called?
So it was a fourth grader. It was a fourth grader classroom that did it. The exploration classroom.
Exploration. That's it. The explorations class. And so one of the things the district does is they have what's called a matching grant. So we apply once a year up to $2,500 to get a matching grant for projects in our community where we can give back. And then this was something where we had the Monroe Elementary ask us for help raising some money for sit-stand desks. So we as a club donated $2,500. We got a matching grant from the district for another $2,500. So we were able to raise $5,000 to get these sit-stand desks for the fourth grade class at Monroe Elementary. And as you know, at that age level, having kids that can stand and such too, I think is going to be wonderful as education is evolving. And so that's one just local project that we did recently, just completed last fall actually. So it was a great project.
And the best part about it actually was the fact that I got to use a power drill and work with two actual teachers that came in and put the desks together with them, which was awesome. So it was just nice getting to know more about the teachers that serve my kids, people like my kids. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And now you know how to use a drill, right?
I knew how to use the drill. But anytime I get to do hands-on stuff is my thing. A lot of the work that I do sometimes is very cerebral. And so having the opportunity to be physically hands-on is great. I mean, I build Legos, so.
Oh yeah. Have you seen that show? Lego Masters? Is that what it's called? Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I was at a house the other day and this guy, we opened up the one closet and it was all red bricks, just those big boxes of the standard, like size. He must have been building, I don't know, a Clifford the Red Dog life sizers. I don't know. It was full of them, thousands of the things. So it was funny. So I forgot, I got on that tangent. I forgot where we went. Locally, how many clubs are there? So there's a bunch. You guys are from Mechanicsburg. I mentioned there is another Mechanicsburg one. How many are there? Which one, if somebody wanted to get involved with one, which one should they go to? Are they different? You mentioned there aren't there's not a limit to how many of one category in each group. So do people just pick by their geographic location, or what should they do? And how many are there first? And then what should they do to pick one?
Yeah,
There's
so there,
43 in our district. So, and usually I say it's easier if you're looking at the club that's closest to you, because right now, of course, we're meeting by Zoom. And I think because of the pandemic, we've all had to adapt. And it's actually been a great thing. So we're meeting by Zoom, but at some point we will probably go to a hybrid method, just because we like the accessibility of people being able to join at any point. But it's usually nice that if you're look for the local clubs, and the best way to do that is to go to District 7390 is our district 7390, and that way you can search out what club is closest to you. I would say that our club's the best club. No, I'm kidding. The people I've had Mike and I have both had the opportunity to meet people from different clubs, and like I said, it's such an honor to be able to work with any Rotarian. In the club that's Mechanicsburg North, the other club, they're just a really great group of people. And we're actually hoping this year, moving forward, to do some more service projects together, working with Mechanicsburg North. So,
yeah, and you do have mixers together and joint things with other local clubs as well, too, right?
Yep. And if you also go to there's a website, District 7390 website for Rotary, you can see all the clubs out there, but also it tells you when they meet. So that's an important part too, that might fit into your schedule. So we're a breakfast club. So we meet Wednesday mornings for breakfast, but there are lunch clubs, there are happy hour clubs. So you can kind of find one that might fit your schedule as well too. So maybe something's closer but doesn't fit you time wise. You might find a lunch club better or something like that. So there's some lunch clubs in Carlisle, Harrisburg, etc. And just kind of see what fits your schedule might be a good way also in regards to location. So too.
That's great advice for any networking group or any organization you're going to join, actually, that I don't usually talk about, is when do they meet? But that's like the most determining factor, I would say, almost. Because that's a good point. And Zoom or in person, is there some mandate that they all have to be Zoom, or are some chapters Zoom or hybrid or in person, or how does that work?
No particular mandate. They formed a safety committee, of course, because of COVID. And so they had recommendations that they put forth. So most clubs, especially starting March and going forward, had been meeting via Zoom or WebEx or whatever social platform they use. But now there's a lot of discussion about getting back together with vaccinations coming out. And so I think that's going to happen at some point, but I think a lot of clubs have recognized the benefit of being able to meet via Zoom, just because of the challenges that come along with just life in general, being busy sometimes. So it's very convenient just to be able to hop onto your computer and still have your pajama bottoms on. I don't have mine on right now, but
yeah, it's allowed.
Sometimes I do that.
So what are the commitments? You get demerits if you miss a meeting, or how does all that work? So what are the commitments and the procedure to join, and then ongoing, what are the commitments?
Well, I had said to our students, because we do a Students of the Month program. So from 4 or 5 different high schools in this area, we have a Student of the Month, and then they join us at every meeting. But Rotary in general asks that you participate in 2 meetings, at least 2 meetings a month, and that your club hold at least 2 meetings a month. So that's the requirement by Rotary International. But there is a lot of flexibility in terms of some clubs can decide whether they want to penalize you for not showing up, or they'll have some type of fine. Our club doesn't do that. It's really more so about, if you can make it, we'd love to have you. That's kind of how we approach it. They do have the rule. What is that, 72 or 75?
75, yep.
75. So if you're 75 or older, you can technically be marked as present. But so I don't know why they give all that favoritism to. No, I'm just kidding. It's really, actually, truly, when some people think of Rotary, I think sometimes they think, oh, it's just a bunch of white-haired old men, and it's not.
That was the question I was just writing down. Is there for me to ask later? Is there a particular need, or do you need younger members? I was going to lead you to that, so you took it out of my. That's okay.
We would love to have. I say that Mike and I are younger, right? We have not hit our 50s yet, so we're spring chickens still. But we love to have younger members. And I think not just younger members, but anybody that just wants to come in and really serve their community, and just has a lot of interesting ideas that they want to try out. I mean, in my mind, Rotary offers a foundation for you to stand upon, and you can just go from there. It's amazing what the pandemic, while it has caused so many challenges one way, I think it has just really opened up the doors to creative thought. And I think that's an amazing thing, and it's a wonderful thing. And I personally, and I know Mike would agree, I would just love to use that as a launching pad to really make our club and any other club just really a new and refreshed experience.
Yeah, and I think this was the year that they said Gen X is going to start it's outside of this year, obviously, before and after, but this is the year that Gen X is starting to take over the leadership positions over the baby boomers and everything. So it's a good time to get in and start taking those leadership roles in organizations like the Rotary and all the other ones that might be in a similar situation where there are a lot of people kind of aging out of it or need replaced a little bit. So what do you have to give any presentations? Are there any required volunteer hours, or this is all kind of chapter by chapter, just like the attendance policy and that kind of thing? Or you could tell us what you do at your club. Do you switch out and everybody does a presentation, or what do you do each meeting? What could somebody expect if they came to a meeting?
Mike, I don't know if you want to take that.
Yep. So there's a very, very tough hazing routine that we go through.
Bloodletting, a lot of bloodletting.
So, honestly, if you just enjoy serving your community, you're welcome. Really, it's that simple. So there are really no other requirements. We do have dues that we, like Amy said, that we pay to the pay at the national level, and that supports some things. So when we were meeting in person, we would buy lunches for our students, other months, and their families. So your dues went to things like that. So we meet Wednesday mornings right now by Zoom at 8 a.m. We were meeting at 7:30 in person, but it's at 8 a.m. now. And then literally it's about just coming, seeing if we're a good fit culturally, for you, as far as like the people that are in this club. And we think you'll find that very, not a problem, especially with Amy being our president. So she's done a great job with that.
She knows how to wrangle people too.
She does, yeah, absolutely. She does these questions these lightning round questions that she has to really get to know people. Which, Amy, you should share those with Derek after the show, because that would be really good for him to get to know his guests on these shows. But anyways, really, there, other than the dues that we have. It's a matter of just coming and showing up when you can and supporting us however you can. So we do other service projects. So each member has the ability to do what fits them or what fits their schedule. We did a volunteer session at New Hope Ministries last year, and going in there. And so we had a member that had not been to a meeting in a year, but he still pays his dues and wants to be part of the club. And he came, helped serve at the service project, So it's really how we can help you and find where you fit in and where you can help our club at. So.
Well, I want to hear more about the lightning round thing right now. I don't want to wait till later. So, Amy, tell me a little bit more about the lightning round. This sounds interesting, and I've never been to a networking group that had a lightning round. So this is particularly cool.
Well, it's again for our students. So every first Wednesday of the month, we have our new students come in for that month, and we ask them a series of questions. Some are painful, some are not, but the lightning round's just really getting to know some of them more. And there's a standard question I ask at the end of every lightning round that most of them never get right. But that's okay.
And ask Derek, because we got to find out if Derek can get this right.
Ask some of the questions.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't ask that question first.
True.
It questions like, what's your favorite sports team?
Chicago Bulls. I don't watch sports, but if I got to pick one on the fly, that would be it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Mountains. All right. Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Texting or talking?
Texting.
Oh, interesting. Huh. Tells me a lot about you. All right. And then here's the question. I hate to give this one away because it's like the special question, and I can't tell you what the answer is because it has a right answer. Zombies, werewolves, or vampires?
Vampires.
Not the right answer, but that is okay.
Send me a scorecard later to tell me what kind of monster I am.
You have to come. You have to come to the club. You come, and then we'll see.
So this is something you do with your students, and you also do it at Rotary, or you don't do it at Rotary?
But so sometimes when we bring in a new person, because we still do the classification talk, and really that's just to know them more, get to know them more. But usually we have some type of harassment. No, not harassment. We ask them questions that let us know a little bit more about them. I mean, you ask about how we determine. So usually every month, one of our fellow Rotarians is assigned programs for the month. And so they will go out and typically find people that can come and present on either on their business or a nonprofit. So we've had the South Mountain Partnership come and talk about what they do. We've had Stop the Bleed campaign come and talk. We've had recently we had a professor come and talk about his experiences or what he's trying to do in the Amazon region. So that was really, really interesting. And one of the most recent ones was Dillsburg Tavern and what they're doing there. So it's just really, it's such an honor to be able to hear all these leaders from around the area just really talk about what they're doing in the community. And I think that's really, in my mind, that's our role, is to bring in community leaders and then try to work with them to see how we can support them, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's service. I think that's our true purpose. And we do, so we've talked about what we've done locally, but we've had a number of international projects in El Salvador. In one of the other phrases, mottos.
You could go participate in?
Yeah. So one of the other mottos is one profits most who serves best. And so we had the opportunity, 4 years ago now, I think, to actually go down and meet with the community where we put, we had these composting toilets that we put in the area. We personally didn't build them, but the people in the community did. And it was amazing to go and to sit in front of that community, very small community. And you just begin to realize these connections that you make, no matter if it's with your local community or with your international community. I mean, the more connections you make, the better off life is. And so it's just, it touches everything about it.
And if those connections are made while doing something meaningful and giving back and something that feels good and is doing good in the world, it's all the better. So I'm right there with you on that for sure. What you mentioned, speaking opportunities. So people could come and just speak at a meeting, or could they be a guest? What are the opportunities to kind of get to know the group or speak at the group or get introduced to the group before becoming a member?
Yeah, the opportunities. I mean, you just come. But then
there's no like designated guest day where people bring guests. You just got to connect with a member and say, hey, can I come to a meeting or a Zoom meeting, I guess right now for a lot of them. Or if you want to speak, you just say, hey, you probably need a topic to speak about, but yeah. So just reach out and ask.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're thinking about this coming year. Of course, we have to talk to some of the local businesses, but there's some really amazing businesses coming in and businesses that exist. So we had the thought this coming year, my presidency will be up and somebody else will be taking over. The presidency switches every year, typically, although Mike did take on a 2-year term. Hey, Mike. So we're thinking about switching it up a little bit this year and maybe doing our standard morning meeting, but then also doing an evening meeting where we have a bit of a mixer, but still have the opportunity for somebody that's to do like a 20-minute presentation on their business or the local nonprofit. So just reach out. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Mike. You can reach out to any of our members, and we'll happily fill in. We always have on our website what programs coming up and where we'll be and what time we'll be there. So
and they're very welcoming. I've been to, I think I spoke, I forget what I spoke about, but I've been to the meeting. I spoke on something. I came to a mixer one time too, and both times were great. I actually, at the mixer, which was a couple club, maybe it was both Mechanicsburg.
That was a Rotary Means event that we had there in downtown Mechanicsburg that time at the Granite Place. I can't think of the name of it, but
Yeah. I think I got business from that meeting because we went around a big circle. Everybody said who they were, and I think I got a little piece of business out of that. So there is networking with the good too there, and the helping. That's what makes you feel good. All the other stuff just is icing on the cake, in my opinion. Yeah. So what you mentioned that you're outgoing president. Position wise, what kind of positions are there? If you want to take a leadership role, what could somebody do? Obviously, there's a president. What else is there?
So we have a board, and Mike, as the past president, serves on that board as well. There's your standard positions, right? So you have the president, you have the incoming president, you have the secretary, you have the treasurer. Tom Burson, shout out to Tom Burson. He's been the treasurer for I don't know how many years now. I'm sure he would love some enterprising finance person to come in and help him out on that one. But there's definitely, yes, exactly, Mike, right. There's some just really solid souls in our club that have really given a lot of their time and their heart to this organization. I think that's what's touched me the most about our club. And Dave Burns, I mean, I could give shout outs to so many people in our club, but I'm normally not somebody that, I work from home now. So so going out and socializing is not something that I automatically choose to do, but just especially from some of our older members that have served for such a long time, I've learned so much. And it's just interesting how Rotary brings together people that probably in general would not necessarily meet up outside, but politics is set aside, religion is set aside. It's just a great space to like come together and collaborate on ideas of how to serve your community. So.
Yeah, and when the president says she looks at it as her church somewhat, that speaks volumes because you really care about the people there. Actually, is he your president? So you're the pastor of this imaginary Rotary church here. But every year that pastor changes. So I think that's great. So we're going to skip my question about what particular need you need. More members is always better. More volunteers is always better. And I think we touched on, there is a little bit of a need maybe for some younger blood to come in and take some leadership roles, especially and that kind of thing. So before we go on to my random question, which is what we do before we go out, I want to hear, you mentioned a Taste of Mechanicsburg coming up, and we want to talk about that a little bit. So tell us what a Taste of Mechanicsburg is and what we can expect from that.
Well, you can go and search out on Facebook, A Taste of Mechanicsburg. You'll see pictures from past events. So it used to be held at the Joseph T. Simpson Library. They were so gracious to allow us to host it there for us. So it's going to look a little different this year. More than likely a passport program where you'd buy a passport for this, and all the funds will go towards whatever local service project we have in place for this coming year, and including maybe even international, although I think we're going to try to keep things more local this year. But we like that. Yeah. Basically the opportunity to support our local restaurants, because they've really, surprisingly, they have been so resilient. And I would love to give shout outs to a number of places that I frequent, but maybe I'll reserve that.
No, do it. We do shout outs as long as it's positive. Just no down. No saying somebody sucks, but you can shout out as many as you want. We want people to get business, so say at least a couple of them, or rattle them all off, or whatever.
Smoking Pickles, Nate Larson at Larson's Meadworks has been just, I mean, in the past, he really supported Taste of Mechanicsburg. So just such an honor. And cupcakes, is it Ann's Cupcakes? Why am I?
Yep.
Yeah, so she's been amazing. Brittle Bark has been amazing. And then some of these new places that have come in, like the Creperie, I can't wait to just start working with them to going forward with a Taste of Mechanicsburg, because the places around here are just awesome. Dave Mills at Smoking Pickles, like I said, just so fun. They're so fun.
And this is mostly in Mechanicsburg Borough there, downtown Mechanicsburg? Yeah. And there's a lot more down there than there used to be. There used to be nothing.
Right, exactly. I mean, new bakeries coming in all the time, just people that really seem to be invested in making the community better and giving us some really good food. Dieners, I mean, we just have some amazing places.
Yeah, you gotta go to Dieners. I haven't been there for a while, actually. That makes me, I gotta go there for breakfast. I can't.
Well, I think every morning or something, they're supporting the Joseph T. Simpson Library now. So if you go there and have breakfast, part of that, whatever you spend, is going towards the library, which we all know how much the library does in our community. I mean, they are a foundational stone of this community. So.
Yeah, and libraries aren't just books. They have DVDs for rent. They have free Wi-Fi for people that don't have it. It's a warm shelter to go if people need it. It's a bathroom. It's a whole lot in the community. So supporting the library is huge, and people underestimate what the resources that libraries provide. Even a computer, if you don't even have a computer or Wi-Fi or anything, you can go to a library and get all the resources you need. So my little rant on libraries, that's great. And I love Dieners for sure also. So did you say how many restaurants or food places are on the passport? Is it usually like 5 or like 20 or 50?
That hear this, by all means, reach out to us. We would love to include you on this list. I mean, we're looking to try to keep it focused around the borough, because we have a billion restaurants in this area. But
JoJo's,
yeah, absolutely. Mike, sorry, I'm talking too much. Mike, you want to add anything?
No. I think that this year we're trying to, the previous Taste of Mechanicsburg is where the restaurants came and donated food to this event, which helped us raise money. This time we're trying to find a way to flip it around to where we can support the restaurants who's basically supported us in the years past. So that's kind of what our next fundraiser idea is. We're not naive enough to think that we need to ask restaurants to donate any more, any food to a type of event when they're struggling as it is. So we're trying to find a way to raise money, but also give back to them that supported us over the years. So that's where I think the difference is going to be this year. And we're just trying to iron out what that looks like, the details of that and such. So
that's awesome. And like we said before the show, everybody likes food and everybody likes to eat. So that's a fantastic fundraiser, and they all definitely need some help. And you can always get takeout from all these places as well. So it's pretty great. So wait, what is the passport? You just have to go to this place and they punch it for you. You don't have to get a certain item or get takeout or dine in or anything. You just have to go there. They punch it for you. And then what happens later? Once you get them all punched, there's a prize or something?
Yeah, so most likely, I mean, we have to square everything away with the library, but most likely they'll be passing out the passports at the library. And then once completed, they will have a drop box or something there and they can drop it off. And so then once you've completed it, then there will be hopefully a decent number of prizes. I don't know what that's looking like yet, but keep your eye out on the website and you'll see more details forthcoming.
That's why we said spring to summer, because they're still planning this. So a good thing to plug right now is you're looking for people to participate and restaurants to participate and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to be involved in this event coming, please reach out. And so before we go out, let's do our random question. So I just Google funny questions and I pick a website, and I usually try to pick a website that I haven't gone to before, although they all have like 101 questions or whatever. So I'm just going to randomly pick, here. You pick a number between 1. This page has has 75 of them. So pick a number between 1 and 72. And then I'll read 3, and then you can each pick which one you want to answer. So somebody pick a number between 1 and 70.
Mike, you go.
How about 4?
4. Went low with it. All right. So 4. What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to? Next one. These are good ones. These are better than the other ones I had got before. If animals could talk, which would be the rudest? And then the third one is, would you rather have no nose or no arms? So funniest to add a mandatory amount of funniest sport to add a alcohol to. If animals could talk, which would be the rudest, or would you rather have no nose or no arms?
So do I have to go first?
Yeah, of course you have to go first.
Sure.
I have to answer all 3 of them?
No, just pick one. You could do all 3 if you want, but
I mean, does dizzy bat count as a sport with alcohol? I don't know. Could you?
What is it?
Dizzy bat. Remember the dizzy bat where you do the?
Oh, spin around the bat. Oh, you almost don't even need alcohol for that one.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
It'd be messy. That's what it would be.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know. I mean, I guess any of those sports with alcohol would make it quite interesting. Especially the high level ones like football, basketball, baseball. Trying to hit a baseball with a couple beers in you, I can't imagine would be very successful.
How about this one? This is a good one I want to ask. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
Ooh.
How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
Jeez, I don't know if that's possible.
It depends. So if you have your rooster, right, you've got that nasty hind claw, right? They're related to dinosaurs, technically. So I don't know. It's like velociraptors. You would think you have enough, they would be able to really dig in there and get at it. But
I'd say you need a good few hundred of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe 1,000 or so, because you're going to need some weight too.
Yeah.
We'll assume it's a full-grown elephant.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
All right, Amy, we'll read the same 3 questions. What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to? If animals could talk, which would be the rudest? Or would you rather have no nose or no arms? That one's kind of dumb because everybody's going to pick no nose. Right?
I don't know about that, because if the nose thing impacted your olfactory senses, I would be bothered. Like if it had any impact on my ability to taste food, that would really, really bother me.
What if you couldn't lift the food to your face to eat it?
It's like a chicken. Peck, peck.
There you go.
There you go.
Arms before. Your nose defines you, kind of.
Yeah, it's true. So which animal do you think would be the rudest?
Oh, the rudest animal? Cat. I think a cat would just be the rudest if they could talk. I have 4 cats, and I think sometimes they look at me and they're saying like they're going to kill me tonight or they're going to do something. I don't know. They would probably be pretty rude, swearing at me all the time.
I agree. They seem like skeptical, very skeptical. They don't like to do any. My twins, I call our daughter, who is very skeptical and doesn't always kind of I call her the cat and our son the dog, because our son's always like, whatever, let's do it. I'm happy. And she's just like, get out of here with that.
Although I appreciate that. I appreciate that approach to life. It's somewhat sarcastic, like, I'm not going to do what you want. I'm just going to flick my tail at you. I care nothing about you.
Yeah. Try to do something about it.
Yeah. I do think soccer would be a fun sport to introduce alcohol into.
Yeah.
Nothing like a team of people weaving around a field trying to like organize the whole ball kicking. Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be more ball kicking.
Yeah. Yikers. Speaking of soccer, if you have Apple TV, watch Ted Lasso. I'm not promoting that, but it's really entertaining. So if you want something that's entertaining, that's a good show to watch.
All right.
Derek, also at our club, we do a lot of things called dad jokes. So
I'll
give you a dad joke if that's all right.
Do it.
What do you call a dog that can do magic tricks?
I give up.
A labracadabrador.
That's hard to say.
I know, right? I know, but see, if you come to our club, you get all these wonderful, thought-provoking dad jokes. So just so you know.
Mike has a Rolodex of dad jokes.
I have an app that does.
I was gonna say it'd be even better if you had your dad jokes on an actual like Rolodex or some kind of note cards or something.
I was gifted a book of dad jokes as well too from our club members. So I break that out occasionally too, which is cool.
Nice. That's awesome. So tell everybody, I kind of put the websites up here if they want to learn about Rotary.org, Rotary International, and broadly what they do with polio and all that kind of stuff. They can go to Rotary.org. If they want to be involved with your club, they can go to MacRotary.org, as you see on the screen there. And I'm going to leave that up so everybody can do it. Should they go there, or should they just reach out to you guys?
They can go there and they'll find our contact information that way. It immediately links, if you select the presidents, it immediately links to my email. So you can email us that way. Also, if you're interested in other clubs in the area, it's Rotary7390.org is for our district. So you can go there as well to find more information on other clubs.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. I wish I had put that on there, but next time we'll put it on there. That's awesome. And I think I put both of your Facebook profiles in the description or whatever. So if you need to find either of them, hit them up, give them a friend request and just message them. And I'm sure they can get you involved lickety split. And then before we go out, again, I just want to remind you guys the next event, the Taste of Mechanicsburg, and reach out to them if you're a restaurant in Mechanicsburg or want to be part or just on the tour or want information or whatever the case may be, reach out to them. If you're interested in a business spotlight package, which consists of Greg coming to your business, I was just telling them about this before the episode, consists of Greg coming to your business, kind of shows a backstage look or a back end look at your business. I said it better before when I rattled it off much better before. Greg comes and shows behind the scenes at your business. You saw him at the Ninja Warrior place where he tried the warp wall. So you get to do that with Greg, and then an interview kind of like this with me where we go a little bit deeper dive into the person and the business, and then a networking mixer at the business, usually about 25 people. And if it's appropriate for the business and COVID permitting and all that stuff, we are booked out to like August or so with the networking mixer. So if you want a proper business spotlight, you can reach out to us, but it will be a little bit of a wait. But if you just want to do an episode with me, I'm scheduling them all the time. I love doing this, and I love promoting Central PA small businesses and organizations and everything. So please reach out to me if you want to do that. If you want access to our special offers, join our email list. It's 1 email a week, not spammy, just tells you the exclusive special offers, the upcoming episodes, the past episodes, and the upcoming mixers. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, and my LinkedIn is live today, it cut out last time I did this, which upsets me a lot. So we are on LinkedIn. If you're anywhere other than Facebook watching this, please head over to Facebook and join our group, Central PA Supports Small Business, and support small businesses there. It's a very, very active group. We're about almost at 11,000 members, and a good 9,000 or 10,000 of them are active every month. So it is not a spammy garbage group. It's a real group with real people interacting and doing a lot of good in Central PA. So please head over there and join that. Follow me. I'm at Agent Derek on Clubhouse. We have a room there every Thursday after the episode. And please contact me if you need to buy or sell a house. You can text me, email me, throw a rock through my window, carry a pigeon, whatever you want to do. And please remember to support Central PA small business and the local community service organizations and causes, and especially restaurants. We'll plug that now to support the restaurants. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. Thank you, Amy and Mike, for being here. Say bye to everybody.
See y'all.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.